Hey guys, welcome back to Mischief Finance. We're live today. It's morning for me. It's Friday, January 16th. It might be Thursday, January 15th for you. If it is, good evening. If it is morning for you, good morning, wherever you are in the world. We will have Wise DGen coming to join us as well later on. Today is the alpha stream. We usually talk only about Sui on the alpha stream, but I think today what we're going to do is talk about other things as well. Although there is always a lot to talk about on Sui, and definitely Wise DGen enjoys talking about Sui. So I'm just waiting for him to get prepared, and then he will be also joining the discussion. If anyone else is listening live and you'd like to join in, then I can share you the DM link for getting yourself either here as an audio avatar or video if you want to turn on a camera. Either is okay. You can join the discussion as well as we just talk about more macro. I want to talk about macro more in this stream, which would be the bigger picture for what's happening all over finance, right? All over finance. Specifically, mostly we'll be talking about crypto today. Although right now I'm looking at silver because it's a lot of fun. I've been having great fun trading silver on weeks. So the points of discussion today for Sui base, we'll have to be talking about the outage which Sui had yesterday or the day before yesterday, which was the first Sui outage that I've experienced in quite a while. We have some SuiDex updates I want to talk about, which are the next UI updates and indexing updates that we will be rolling out. And we've got some pretty cool things coming for you, which we've been working pretty hard on this week to get the branding ready for it, and also getting the the back end contracts and things running smooth as well for that as well. So that's all pretty exciting stuff, really, I have to say. Now, apart from that, we are going to be going and talking about other chains. I want to talk a little bit about GBlue today as well, which is on my to-do list, because it's been doing damage in price. It's been unbelievable. But here is Wise DGen. I believe he's here in living color. So we'll see if we can add him. And let's see if he's a strange color right now. Let me fix this too. I'm sure he'll be here. He's green right now. Wise DGen, you're green, or you might be not. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. We lost him. It's all right though. It's not a problem. He'll be back. Device is not connected, it says. Oh, there you are. Okay. Let me see. Oh, he's gone again. At the stage. Are you there?
Hello.
You're talking about. I can't hear you. What's on with that? I'm having some technical difficulties with hearing Wise DGen. Let me see if I can sync him up into this. Ah, that's why. No battery in my headphones. Are you there?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it was
I'm here.
my headphone didn't have any battery in it. Of course.
Right on.
Yeah. That's what happens when you fall asleep with them in, right? Wake up and then they think they're still working, but they're not. So, how are you doing, Mr. Furley, Wise DGen? How are you today?
Doing good, staying busy. Always learning about new AI stuff. It's always never ending, always developments.
No.
I remember last Thursday, I talked about how the privacy coins were taking off. And I mentioned
Yeah, you are.
XMR.
Yeah, you did.
And the last 2 days in a row, it even went even higher and reached all-time new highs. It went up to $790, I believe, XMR.
Doing
And
damage.
Zcash kind of fell off because I guess some sort of deal they had fell through. But that just shows that there's a lot more interest in privacy coins, and the S2 stack where Sui's going is going to be private by default. And I think there's not very many people that realize this yet. And once more institutions and these things realize that they can be not have all of their data shown publicly, but still be compliant for regulation, I think that's going to cause a lot of people to pay more attention to Sui Network.
I was thinking about this too, but what Sui is doing has been done before. There's a couple projects which I've been part of in the past. Was it called dApp? Data Ownership Protocol, that's one. So this is, I think it's Russian based, and what they do is they allow you to either share or not share what happens with your transactions. So you can decide if you want to show or not show that. But they had a very hyped pre-sale. And of course, since their pre-sale, it's been a mega dump. You look at that chart.
Well, yeah.
So, but it's because Sui have a better place for doing this because Sui have such a great stack of other technologies that they're just adding another, I'd say like another feather in their cap, right? Essentially.
Yeah, they have shipped like a new protocol at least every single month.
Yeah.
They're putting out new stuff all the time. Misty SETI version 2. That's what made it the finality even faster. That was like probably like a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Quilt is pretty recent, and now their S2 stack, which is going to be privacy by default with a viewing key, and not gasless stable coins, but sponsored transfers. Like there's going to be a certain USD Sui, and that coin will be free for the user, but I guess whoever is in charge of the service will pay the fee, which is basically less than a penny in most cases anyhow. So they're really looking into onboarding new people. And I just saw a video that I posted in the dev chat for the farm that there is. It said you can build your own financial vehicle or your own financial market on top of DeepBook, but I've never really looked into DeepBook very deeply. Yeah, I think might be that one.
Yeah, like DeepBook's the liquidity layer is what they call it on Sui, but yeah, it is quite can be quite mysterious what it's actually doing. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people on Sui really understand what the DeepBook does. What's
it just made it even more confusing because he's saying like you can make your own
DeFi business on Sui today. It's an exciting time because I believe now the bar of entry to build in DeFi is actually going to get considerably lower on Sui than on any other chain. And in a world where vibe coding is the thing,
so what's your thoughts?
Anybody can build amazing apps on Sui very quickly without having to worry
anyone
about
doesn't know that
either
Sui
smart
had
contract
a
or
6
swing.
hour of downtime?
This is great for DeepBook because margin there is no
we go.
automatic deleveraging that happens on other platforms. We saw in the market recently where a lot of people got really harmed by automatic deleveraging. That does not happen on DeepBook. It's working purely on spot. It's very hard to build, right? As a platform, it's a hard job to actually build, but we think it's going to offer a lot of benefits, even to perps platforms that can leverage the DeepBook trading system and leverage the liquidity on DeepBook as a means to even power their own leverage schemes on perps as well. So we believe that DeepBook is going to make protocols on Sui more profitable because revenue will be shared with every DeFi protocol on Sui that's integrated. There'll be more developers on Sui because the barrier to entry to actually build applications in DeFi is greatly reduced. Certainly, the revenue to users goes up because the vaults, as you're providing liquidity to DeepBook, that can also translate to users earning a lot more money by means of engaging in Sui DeFi. And there'll be a number of stablecoin offerings that will be available. We touched on the Athena USD. That'll be available shortly, also on DeepBook and vaults for that too. So we believe not only would you get greater developer engagement on Sui with people building apps and to worry about the code, protocols earning more fees by means effectively leveraging DeepBook, users also benefiting. But I think the whole story is that DeFi on Sui is here to stay. DeFi on Sui has been one of the fastest growing.
So what he's saying there means that like you must be able to go to the DeepBook site and add liquidity, is how I understand that. But I've never actually gone to look at what DeepBook is actually, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just one thing I never really looked into. I'm not. They call it an order book, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, it says here trade now. Go over there. Trade now.
I'll ask the robot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I just shows all the dexes. Of course, they probably don't show SuiDex yet. No, of course they don't. So I think it's just tracking all liquidity, I guess, or deep trade. I'm not sure. Trading strategies, deep trade, deep trade. Yeah, it's something I've never really spent much time looking at. Okay, so they have their own perp dex essentially. It's just, you know.
And with something like that, that almost looks like they will list anything that is on their network. So that might actually be good.
No, they don't list everything. They only list the ones that they agree to list, I believe.
We're gonna be one of those ones.
Should be. That'd be good. But let's see. You know, I talked last week about my frustrations with Sui, but it's, you know, it's a continuous growing thing.
Well, would you say that our indexer is fully finished or mostly finished?
So the part of like indexing the farm. So everything that happens in the farm now is pulled, instead of happening on the front end, happens in the back, and it's fully indexed through the API. But in terms of being fully indexed, it's a continuous ongoing process. So at the moment we're talking with Noodles, which Rahul, our backend developer, is working with Noodles to open up our indexer to their swap. So in essence, Noodles will be the first swap will be our first aggregation, right? So when you come to Noodles, you can come here to swap, and they have a swap function. So if I wanted to buy Victory, for example, or Suitrump, or any of the coins that we have liquidity with, right? If I wanted to buy Victory here, say I want to put one Sui into Victory, they're going to just give me the Aftermath, FlowX, and Cetus pools. They're not going to give me SuiDex at the moment. So what that means then is that they haven't aggregated us. So what the first aggregation will be, you'll be able to come to Noodles and swap. Then, of course, we'll be able to list we've aggregated successfully with Noodles, and then once we've done that, we'll be, you know, call Aftermath, for example, and say, Aftermath, hi, we have successfully aggregated with Noodles. Can we aggregate with you? They'll say, oh yeah, sure, we know Noodles, da da da. Then we go to FlowX, then we go to 7K, then we go to Cetus. So we knock them off one by one, because each of the different dexes will have slightly different needs for aggregating. So each one has to be kind of custom communicated through them to get aggregated to each and every dex on Sui. Then I guess once we've hit up 3, 4, 5 different aggregators and we have liquidity between them, then we can go to the big ones like Deepbook, and then see if that's something they're interested in as well. Basically,
I'm ready to go to Cetus to talk to Amy about that. I don't know if you noticed though, but if you go to SuiScan, it looks like we're on there. I'm not sure if we're on there like officially as you want to be, but I've seen our logo on there.
Well, that's because I paid them, right? So I gave SuiScan money to do this. There's Suitrump.
I've seen Victory.
So it's there, but it's not. I'm gonna guess. Like they have some things. Let me see. Packages. Yeah, it's just SuiDex 1, SuiDex. They don't have our farm. They don't have our vault. They don't have like stuff like that. So it's sparse what they're showing. They're not showing more information.
It's good to see a logo at least getting started.
Well, that's been there since day one, because I paid them like 100 Sui to put it on. But
what about is it the same with Sui Vision?
Sui Vision want 5 million in daily volume or something like that until they will lift a finger.
I'm gonna get a hold of Adeni. He was on a live space earlier today, but I missed it. Somebody posted it in the SuiDex chat room.
Yeah.
But because basically I wanted the indexer to be fully
So with
ready to
Vision,
go.
well, it's continuous. It's like an ongoing thing. There's not going to be a day when we say, oh, we're fully indexed, because there will be another protocol to index with, right? So here, for example, Sui Vision, we paid them like total like 400 Sui to list, but then they haven't. This is SuiDex Farm. They haven't indexed anything here, so it's account 0. They don't show anything yet, so they're not moving. That's why we went Noodles, right? Because Noodles is very much a community based platform.
Noodles
So
is awesome. That's
it
for
is.
sure.
So be them, then we go through the dexes, and then really these blockchain explorers. This is it's great to see for us, but like, how many general investors are going to be checking out for for yield and passive income? They're going to be checking if it's fully on blockchain explorer. It's not the biggest thing on Sui. Biggest thing is getting aggregated. So that'll be, I'm not really that bothered by it, because it's just as we grow liquidity and we start, I think once we get the first aggregation done with Noodles, then we also are working with Nightly to get that one done as well. So you'll be able to swap through SuiDex pools on Nightly Swap as well. That'll be another one. And then we just, one by one, we knock them off and get going with that. But that's very much like I've hired the team. They're specifically tasked with doing this. So they know what they have to do. Like, I get told every week, how long is it going to be to do Noodles? It's 2 days, but then 2 days turns into 5 days, and 5 days turns into 7 days. At the moment, it's 2 days again. So let's see. So it should be very soon that happens.
It's per usual. It's crypto time.
It is, yeah. There's always problems. It's like, even now, like, we were ready to test and go, and then Sui had an outage, and then we couldn't test. And then I think I had a message this morning saying, please test it. So once we finish this live, then I'll go and see if the Noodles API is working well. And if we'll have to talk to them and then see if it's working for them. And then that should be plug it in and go with that one. So it's another one knocked off, which is all good.
Yeah, I
So there's a
noticed
couple
that
comments.
timing at the time of testing.
Yeah. Says, hey, Richie, is SuiDex backed 1-for-1 in case you ever get hacked? I'm not sure what that means.
We have the hack and proof dual defense seal of approval. That's the highest grade.
But
audit
he's not
that you
saying,
can get.
I don't think he means SuiDex gets hacked. I think he means I get hacked. So we're set up across 3-4 wallets for SuiDex backend, all with secure wallets. So in terms of the wallets or any of the treasuries being hacked, I don't think that's possible to happen. And even in, never say impossible in crypto, but even if it did, it would only really have effect on one wallet. And then we have a backend portal where we can change that wallet into another one, if that ever did happen. In terms of the actual platform getting hacked, like the DEX is immutable, so it cannot be changed. The farm code is immutable, cannot be changed. Even the mint on Victory token is capped, so it's not like it can infinitely mint and have a flash loan attack, because it is capped that as well. But you have to clarify what you mean by in case you ever get hacked, and what 1-for-1 means. Like, are we backed by hard cash? We're backed by liquidity.
Because he's getting confused with how centralized exchanges work, right? So if you put money onto, like, if you put coins onto Binance, they just give you a receipt. They have your keys, right?
Yeah.
So, when you have a balance, they have to have those coins in their vaults. The coins that are in with us are actual coins that were sent from the people depositing them. It's not like we're just giving them a receipt. There's coins that
still
exist.
Yeah, exactly. It's still your coins. You just have to make a transaction to move them out. Like, while
So technically, his answer would be yes. All the coins that we are displaying as shown are actual coins that are on books. So it's not like we have a separate reserve of a backup of a double copy of all the coins we have. No, but all the coins are real coins being listed.
Yeah, it's a good way to see it. Like, for example, if you come to Sui Victory and you want to put your tokens into Sui Victory here, then they're still your coins. You own them 100%. You're just depositing them into our vault and getting rewarded for that. And then whenever you want to move them out, you just pull them out. So it's back. I wouldn't say back 1-for-1. It just is 1-for-1. You have 1-for-1 going in.
Plus, you do get that LP token, which is not usual for what most people are used to in Web3.
Oh, okay. He meant it like the Cetus hack. So the Cetus hack, if I remember correctly, that was someone managed to hack into their vault and start pooling the funds out, basically.
They
They basically,
exploited a flash loan.
yeah,
That was a very like high level Web3 style feature. We're just a Web2 style Master Chef farm.
yeah. But we're the
Nothing
only,
nothing
we're the
crazy
only,
like.
we're a one of one on Sui. There's nothing like us on Sui. But yeah, I guess the Cetus one was like someone putting their hand in the cookie jar, right? Basically.
It was they're doing some very advanced smart contracts to do this flash loan thing, and that enable them to change the tick score of the liquidity pools. Some long-winded thing. If you go to my TikTok, you can see the video response
Okay.
on there. It was
Yeah.
brought up recently by Eisenhower on X, so a lot of people have been asking questions about it again. I haven't heard back yet from Amy about it, so still waiting to see what she said. But
So because I never want to say never in crypto, because we know that crypto is high risk. There's countless, I know I've been doing this for 6 years, 7 years. The amount of platforms I've been in where there have been issues. So building SuiDex, I already built with that in mind, that of course we're audited twice, well thrice basically, and our contracts are set up in a way that the owner always has the funds. But I'm not going to say, who knows what can happen in the future. So knowing that from experience, what we've got in the back end of SuiDex is if there ever is an issue, we have a pause, of course. So if, for example, we notice that something was awry or not working as designed, we could pause the platform, fix, and then restart. So we tested this a lot before we launched. That's why we had a delay in launch, where if there is any problem at all, we can pause, we can stop the emission of victory, we can lock all pools so nobody can do anything. Then we can look into the issues and then restart exactly from where we stopped off. We can even roll back as well, but of course rolling back would only fix the emission of the pool. So for example, if we were paused for 2 weeks trying to fix it, then that would be a 2 week of the protocol still thinking it's going 2 weeks. We'd have to roll that back. But in terms of with Cetus, when they were hacked, they didn't recover the funds. There was nothing back one for one, right? So they had to get a bailout, essentially, from Sui. I think that's what happened with Cetus, right?
Well, they were able to pause the majority of the funds and on the guy's wallet, and then there was everybody could vote on whether or not to give those coins back. When of course everybody voted yes.
But they gave it back in Cetus coin, right? Which
no. So the majority was given back because there was like 230 million that was taken.
It was
but
right here, right?
Only 60 million got out of the network. 180 million were frozen in the wallet. That was returned, and then the foundation gave them a loan for 30 million, and then they took out the rest from their reserves of their Cetus coin, but converted it to what the people originally had, and then a very small percentage you have to claim every month on whatever wallet you were getting. You had
it was
LP on there for
15%. Yeah, that was never returned. They gave it back in Cetus coin, but you're allowed to claim it out monthly. The issue with the way they did that though is since their exploit, their exploit was in May, was it?
Yeah,
I think it was May.
Yeah, because they were in hack and proof audits with us at the same time.
Yeah. So then since then the price has gone from 2 cents all the way to for 20 cents all the way down to 2 cents, which means actually, so they said, okay, you have your 15% coming back from Cetus payments every month, but then the Cetus payments were set at the price of Cetus coin at 20 cents, but now we're still getting the compensation coming from Cetus, but now it's at the price of 2 cents as opposed to 20 cents. So
I feel like a lot of people don't even know that they can claim their monthly.
Yeah, maybe not.
Cetus. I had LP on there myself on 2 different wallets, and what was restored seemed like pretty close to what I had in there. But I mean, I guess that skews a lot because I didn't have like thousands,
Yeah.
just a couple
Yeah,
$100.
you come to more than compensation, and then you have liquidity positions. Oh, I've got some Cetus. Nice. So before, like the 500 Cetus was quite a like would be quite a nice bag, but now I guess it's $20 or something. Let's
But
have a look.
is it possible that each month when they do the Cetus payouts, it's at the value of what your LP
No,
was?
no, no. It's the amount of Cetus tokens. So they priced it at the moment when they decided to give everyone Cetus token, and since then, of course, the prices have collapsed, and they just go down. But I mean, all I do is I just take the Cetus and I just buy Suitrump.
Yeah, pretty much.
What else can you do with it? Bye bye, Cetus.
But I mean, in comparison to what happens on other networks where it's just like everything's gone, no one does much. Like I think it was fairly successful as far as a exploit can go.
Yeah.
But
So we
since
have
then, there hasn't really been much going on in that.
some other
Yeah.
questions. Loving the yield. Another question from Minty. One, if I put 20K of wrap Bitcoin into the single asset pool, can you give me an approximate new APR? Okay, this is a complex question. So wrap Bitcoin right now has only 25K in the pool, and it's giving 78% APR. You can see that the Sui has 149K and it's giving 16 APR. So if you put in 25K, the APR is probably going to drop to about 50% APR. But at the same time, we are running the emission split, and I'm not sure where we are on that. Let me check emissions, victory emission, because the emission split means the single asset pools are a kind of an offer that's going to be running for the first year of SuiDex. And then after 1 year, the single asset pools close. And that's when we turn off the deposit fee, no, the withdrawal fee, so that people can exit because they've been in there for a year. So you can see this column here, single percent on this very number heavy form. We started at 15% allocation, then we went down to 12. On week 13, that drops down to 7% allocation on the single assets. From there, it stays at 7 for about 2 or 3 months, and then its final position is 2% of all allocation, and then it drops off to 0 for the second year and third year of SuiDex. So the single asset pools are going to, and what happens to that yield? The yield that would be going to the single asset pools goes to Victory single stake. So that's a continuous, ongoing, hard set, immutable progression there for that. So of course, the best time to have joined the single pools were when they were 15 and 12%. And soon they'll be moving. I think we're in week 11 at the moment of SuiDex, possibly week 12. So we'll soon see them drop from 12% to 7% of all allocation. So if you wanted to put it in a big bag like 20K, I would say waiting. Let me just check where we are in the admin panel. So I would say possibly waiting to see where that 7% lies for the APR percentage there, because there's a 4% deposit fee, right?
I believe the WBTC pair has one of the highest APRs as far as the pools go.
It does. Well, you're 23% with XBTC and Wrap BTC, right? Yeah, so that's not bad. You also have the 74% with Bitcoin and Victory as well. It's got 3 places to park Bitcoin in currently. The reason why
74% is pretty good.
Yeah. The reason why the single asset pools will fall in percentage over time is because, of course, having a single asset pool is great because the deposit fees we can use to pay the Victory stakers, which is always great. But then in terms of like liquidity and helping us, our swapper, helping the DEX functioning, it's not very helpful because the coins which are in the single asset pool are just sitting in a vault. They're not being used for liquidity. Yeah, we're on week 12 of 156 weeks for the emission schedule. So that puts us right here. So that will be week 12, and then we will have, so next week, the single percent emission will drop from 12% to 7%. Victory token locker will rise from 23% to 32%, and LP will drop from 62 to 58. So we're moving both some LP, a small percentage of LP, and a large percentage of a single percent is going into Victory stakers. Because that's the whole play, right? Rewarding people who are staking their Victory in the token locker. that also does bring me to one other thing, which is one thing, like the main thing I want to talk about SuiDex today is there's comment from Aaron as well. Getting aggregate on board will be a game changer. Yes, Aaron. Yes, definitely. So
Game changer for sure.
this is the victory locker, right? So a change that we've been working on this week for this, well, it's more of an upgrade. So what's going to be happening so here I have a 1 week here. We're testing it on the 1 week, but it's not actually going to work on the 1 week. It's going to work on the 3 month, the 1 year locks. We are enabling a restake bonus. So we've added a restake function to your locker. If this is running, it should be already in production on the test. So this is the test farm that we make changes and improvements on, and then we move them onto the main one, right? So my 1 week lock here is finished. So what happens when your lock is finished on the token locker is you come to unlock. And what's going to appear for you will be this. So this is the restake bonus. So we're doing this not on the weeks, to be clear. It's on the 3 month and the 1 year. So of course 1 year locks are not happening yet, but 3 month locks are coming up. So what's going to happen is when your 3 month lock is complete, you're going to have the option to restake, which is quite cool. So you can either restake would mean you claim out your victory, which is your principal deposit. So say this current lock has 900 victory in it. That's your victory. That's what you locked. You're of course going to get that back without any tax. That's how the locker works. The pending rewards are just what I've been earning in the last while. So when I relock, I would compound my pending rewards and my current lock and put it into a new lock. And I can choose. If I want to do a 3 month lock, I get no bonus. So I take my 3 month lock, it's finished, happy with how it's gone. You're like, oh, I'm going to relock. I want more victory rewards. Put it in for 3 more months. It will create a new lock for you immediately. And then you can come back in 3 months and, of course, get your principal back again. Or if you're like, well, actually, I quite enjoyed the locker. I'm going to do it for a year. If you lock for a year, you're going to get, we're thinking 5%, but at the moment it says 10%. And what's going to happen here is you will get a 5% bonus stake given to you for locking for 1 year. And if you choose, I'm going to go for the 3 year max lock, you're going to get a 15% bonus stake open for you on your principal deposit. So if you put in 100 victory, you'd get a 15 victory bonus lock also created for you. Or if you just want your lock completed and you want to claim it, you can do the bottom one where it just closes your lock, gives you back your principal deposit, claims any pending Sui and pending victory that you might have as well at the same time. And that's how that works. So you come here to like, I want to do a 3 year lock with my my finished lock. It's going to claim out. You can see here it's claiming out my pending Sui from that. It's claiming out my pending victory from that. And it's claiming out my principal deposit as well, all in one transaction. And then it's going to create a new lock for you. So there'll be a couple transactions which will flow through that. So that's going to be coming, should be live this weekend for people to use, which is cool.
I think that's something that many people may not realize is that the token lockers get more victory as time passes. And then on top of that, we have the Sui native coin as a bonus. That's basically unique to this platform as far as I've seen. I haven't seen any other place where you can lock a token that's not Sui and just get Sui coin native. That's pretty nice bonus.
Yeah, for sure. By locking your victory, you get victory at increasing APR as we're pulling more allocation of the victory rewards into the locker. So these APRs will continue to go up, basically. So you're getting, at the moment for a 3 year, you're getting 129, 1 year 125. These are dependent on TVL and allocation. You can see the 3 year has $46,000 and the 1 year has $13,000. 3 month has $23,000. So that's depending on how much the TVL is and the allocation we give. But these allocations will continue to go up as more emission shifts happen. So this will be the third emission shift for, where are we? This is the third emission shift, which is coming up for the platform. Program like Bitcoin, right? And then when you're locked in, you're also getting Sui rewarded to you every single week, which comes from the deposit fees for the farm. So the way I like to see it is if you are, for example, a 3 year staker in SuiDex, Sui Farm, right, with your victory, you are share owner. You have a revenue share of SuiDex because you're locked for the entire emission schedule of the platform, and you're getting your percentage of Sui rewards for this as well. And I kind of want to make a way of showing people's share ownership from their 3-year, stake ownership as well. I think it's quite cool because they're getting 40% of the revenue, right? So it means they're 40% of the owner from their holding of victory.
I know you mentioned an idea about making an NFT representative of that, and that's really easy to do on Sui. It's so cheap to make NFTs. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but the NFT, there'd have to be some positive upside for the NFT. Like I'm not really interested in just making things to look at. They got to have a reason to look at. They got to be able to do something for you. And the other thing which we are going full whammy on is the Sui Gaming.
Ding ding ding.
Which we have some base mock-ups. Basically, I'll share them. Let me bring them in.
Now, it looks like is it going to be possible that maybe we will have actual casino style games where they can actually wager and do like coin flip and the stake originals like they're doing on Double Up and Suiger?
Eventually. So we're going to go one by one. So at the moment we're just got some from the game team. They said basically which color you like for the start. I like the blue. I think
blue,
it's cool.
yeah, blue.
So it's a fast process to get the basic setup, and then from there it's making the games, right? So the first will be a wheel, the second will be a lottery. And then from there, we're just going to add game by game. So we don't want to launch with a massive suite of loads and loads of games. We're just going to continue to add game by game. The first one I talked about last week, it's based on you depositing into the Victory LP pools and the token locker. When you do that, you get free spins of the wheel, and then you spin the wheel, and then you earn extra prizes. We're also adding an affiliate bonus to SuiDex games. And we're also adding the option to just buy in to get spins and get tickets for the lottery game as well. If you don't want to use the farm, you can also just buy tickets. And then we will make some revenue share from SuiDex games also go into Victory stakers as well. So it's kind of expanding the flywheel. But
that's exciting. That is big business these days. That is very popular. Any type of gamblify. They're trying to gamblify everything now. It's almost like first it was gamify, now it's gamblify everything.
Yeah. So in terms of the UI there, it is very much your mock-up basic mock-up kind of thing at the moment. But then now the job is so I've been giving them some design ideas. I kind of like this logo. I'm trying to get the same Victory horse, but I wanted to make a hexagon instead of a circle so that it looks more. I
actually have some made. I haven't showed you yet. I have some pretty cool upgrades on that.
I can have a look at it. So we'll have that one. I like having a play button because then people can see from the logo, like, oh, I play there, right? That's what it's for. I'm just playing. So I've been messing around with that for the game. So hopefully over the weekend we'll have the restake done and launched, and the Noodles done and launched, and then we're going to move on to the game and get SuiDex Gaming set up and running. So
one question I had, I forgot to ask before, since the update was done to the farm, when I go to the app and I go to the SuiDex farm, it has the old logo instead of the horse. It has like the
really?
The Suitrump. It has the Suitrump looking guy.
Okay.
And I think it looked a lot better with the horse to match.
That's an error there.
Yeah, because that's not that even that one's like it's not the cool Trump that we have on the Suitrump coin, but is Catan shaped hexagon?
It is a Catan shaped hexagon. Thanks, Brett. Always got some good knowledge there.
Oh, Brett Prince, why don't you hop on the stream, Brett?
Yeah, if anyone wants to talk, like join the conversation as in speaking vocally, then I can share you the link and then you can come and join in if you want. We can just have a good old hoedown. You don't need to show your face. You can also just plug in with your microphone, kind of like X Spaces, basically. You just can share that. But yeah, so that's the three things I wanted to point out for SuiDex. So we added the Swarm pool, and Swarm had their unlock and everything. So what do you know about what's going on with Swarm Network, Furley? What's the goss? What's the story?
Well, they are doing big things. So it is unfortunate that some of the people that locked their licenses up on a specific date, because you did yours like right away, I'm assuming, because you were able to get some of your coins before they locked up again.
Yeah.
Because if there was people that locked up their coins like a few days after that, and it was like an exact overlap to where they couldn't get their coins from that lease before they were locked up again. It was just like a 24-hour period. It was only one day specifically. If you locked your coins, if you leased your license on that day, you couldn't claim any of your coins. So you had your license leased for 6 months, expecting to get your coins at the end of it, but now they're all locked again until February. So it's that's definitely frustrating. But as far as what they're doing, like as network wide with the Sui network, it hasn't been officially announced, but it is quite obvious that they are working on basically a Sui network version of Polymarket with Talus and Sui network and Swarm network. And also they recently posted about the builder program, like let's start building. And that's another thing, like it looks like we might be able to start spinning up our own Swarm clusters to do our bidding for us. What they're capable of, I'm still not sure yet, but they are gonna be on chain using the Sui network as their home, using Walrus to communicate, and they can be proactive and take action. As far as what actions they can take, I still don't know that myself, but the Swarm network clusters, they are running the rollup news. That is a Swarm cluster itself. So that's proof of the function. And that's why they wanted people to lease their licenses, because rollup news was actually way more successful than they expected it to be. It was almost too successful that they needed that power to power the rollup news, because when you own a license, that's your portion of the Swarm. So if they wanted to make rollup news function properly, they needed people to lease them back their licenses so they can use their processing power. Because so like with nodes, you have an actual piece of hardware like at your house, right? Like you have the actual device there.
Yeah, but I've been in a lot of projects which have virtual nodes like Swarm are using.
Okay, so because with Swarm, basically you get a license, which is like a title. It's like you own the node, but Swarm Network has the node, but they can't use it without your permission because you own the license to it.
Yeah,
it's pretty much how that works.
So then in terms of, so Swarm has done pretty much what I expected Swarm to do in terms of price performance. So what I expect, so this is the Truth token here. I had a couple questions I want to answer about Truth, actually. One from Brett and one from, I can't remember who else sent me. Well, both are concerned mostly about price. So like I've had this line drawn for ages, right? This line was drawn ages ago, and it's continuing to plot basically what I expected to happen with Truth token. So because Truth token had a really bullish unlock where the token actually pumped on the unlock. So let me just get that in there.
Well, one thing that was extremely rare is that they went directly to Binance perpetuals from day one. That's not really a normal thing to happen.
Yeah. So actually from their unlock time, they've pumped 50% up from the bottom. So that was extremely bullish. From that 50%, from the 50% pump zone though, since the last couple of days, we have seen a drop in the swarm price down 14% from that point. We're pretty much back to just where the project started in terms of price value, right? So we've seen explosive growth and then a decline, then small pumps with sell-offs continuing on the chart. This, I think we'll continue in this kind of rhythm for Swarm. I think we're always going to see large mega pumps and then slow sell-offs. Also large sell-offs, like with this huge red candle here, which this is on a daily, right? These are daily candles. Like that's a 50% daily candle there. And we've seen another 50% daily candle here. So it can be frustrating for people if, say, your tokens are locked and you can't get them out. Like with the leasing issue, when you know that the token can pump really hard and drop really hard in a day, basically. So I can see where the frustrations came for that. What I did personally with Truth Token was I did end up claiming out most of my Truth. So I had 1 million Truth, and now I've got 100,000 left in the balance, right? So I finished my lease, but I left it here. So I didn't even claim the lease that finished that people are arguing about because you get a boost on your finished lease anyway. So I'm just using that to earn points. I had enough in my withdrawable to pull out. Then I traded some and put some in SuiDex. So from the 900,000 swarm I took out, I have 500 in my wallet. You can see that here. There's 500,000 Truth. So it's not like I dumped it all. That's not my plan.
It's a good idea to make a stake as well, even if it's a small amount. Because
yeah, I'm thinking about that. Yeah.
I just put like 200 in there, something like that.
You gotta bring the hammer, man. It's either go big or go home with Swarm. Because like you're getting 45% in single stake, right? The more that goes in here, the lower that's going to go. So like there's 11 million in here right now. If I put the 500,000 Swarm in here, this APR is going to go down to about 42 or 43. So it's going to continue to go, and that's an APY as well. So it's a compounded APR. So actually the APR is going to be about 25 to 30 if you're thinking on like what you're getting. Because as you're staking in this pool, you're immediately getting the rewards added to your stake, right? So it's compounded yield.
And one important thing I think to note here about this staking, you do not have to have a license to stake here and be eligible to enter in this staking pool to get these rewards. You can just have a license, not a license, but just the coin. You can buy it on the open market, however you get it. And you can put it in here and stake it and be eligible for the rewards that they're going to be given away on the next payout.
Yeah. Because what I've done is I put it into, so I took about 100,000, 150,000 Swarm. I sold it into USDC. Then I paired it with Truth. And then I put it in SuiDex to see the liquidity. So at the moment, inside of the Truth pool on SuiDex, I've got $3,300 in here. I mean, it's not bad. It's earning at the moment 52% APR, right? So one thing I want to explain is the difference between APR and APY. It's quite important. If I was, say, like in crypto, things exist called like auto compounding vaults, which would mean that if this was running like efficiently, what would happen is my victory would be claimed out every 10 minutes, would be sold into USDC. That USDC would buy Truth and it would go straight back into my pair, right? Creating this continuous loop of my earned rewards, creating more LP, right? That's APY. So APY is essentially your compounded yield. This is straight up reward yield, right? So if 52% was turned into APY of compounded yield, you'd be up into 100, 200% probably for that. So then if we're looking at the APY here of 45.6%, you can use AI probably and quickly figure out what the APR would be. Last week I got into maths and then Brett Prince like slapped my ass because I got it completely wrong. So I'm not going to get deep into maths here.
Figure it out, Brett. We know you're in the comments. Go do the math on that. Let us know.
I've lost you for, oh, there you are. Yeah, Brett, so if it's 45% APY, what would be the APR? That's my question. I'm going to guess about 20, but this is napkin maths right now. But this is also something you need to be aware of for staking it, right? So you're going to be locked until February 24th or April 17th. Personally, I haven't staked anything yet because I don't want to be locked anymore with my Truth token. I've already
So
been locked
do you
for 6
understand what
months.
the staking gives you? That just gives you eligibility to possibly win tokens, or is it everybody that stakes gets part of it?
So what happens is with the staking, it's double reward. You're getting a share of 10 million truth token, which is in this pool here, right? It says 10 million. So you're getting a share of this. And that's coming from the 11 million swarm currently staked in here. They're all getting a piece of this reward pool. So as more total stake comes in here, the reward pool stays the same, which means that the APY will go down, right? Because there's more people taking the pie. At the same time, if you come back to licenses, you have these three tickers at the top. It says daily and leasing and staking. So if you come to staking, if you are staking, then you get points on your stake, which give you tickets, and then the tickets make you eligible for this truth draw for 30 million truth or 40 million truth token as well. So if you stake full season, which means you're locking until, what's that, April? April 17th, then you get double tickets on your stake. If you lock half season, you get single 1x tickets on your stake. So you're earning tickets for the grand draw, and you're also earning set APY, which compounds inside of your staking pool. So that's what you're getting with it.
Yeah, I have
That's
two
the deal.
licenses, and I actually leased one of them recently, since it seemed like the builder program wasn't going to come out
Yeah,
very soon, and that bumped up my points, because on mine it says I have daily and then leasing and staking.
yeah.
So that's interesting. I get 4 um, points just for 200 swarm that I put in the staking. So it's
Yeah. It's a
pretty simple.
clever system of locking your funds with incentivized reward. So it's kind of like kicking the can down the road. It all depends on what Truth can do with one, the price of their token and the use case and utility for their token by April. So if we zoom out on a mega chart, right? We're wanting to see that this will all conclude at here, right? So this is where the staking will conclude. It's where their ticket game will conclude. So it's all about what Truth can do in the time between now and April. If it can come back up, make a little cup and handle, and then whoosh, I'll rocket off from there. Then everyone who's locked going into the staking, not claiming the rewards, will be really, really well paid off, because you've got a token which is back to all-time highs, which is considerably. It's a 2x up from there, and then further up from there, because they'll have concluded this. But at the same
My
time,
take on that
yeah,
is, once, because I feel like there's barely anybody that knows. They still, not very many people know about Swarm Network. They're very big, but as far as, like, especially the US community, Swarm Network they're not really present in the same circles as, like, everyone has kind of their own circle of groups and stuff. But they are partnered with Talus, which is fairly popular. They have that frog, and
mm-hmm.
I feel like whenever they finish their project, whatever they're working on, whether it's prediction markets, there is something that they're doing that is undeniable. And even Yannick in the chat said, "You'll be happy with your tokens." He said, even straight up, they're going to be worth more by the time you're going to take them out. Because I feel like if the Sui network announced themselves from the developers, like Adeni and whoever, said, "This is our prediction market," or whatnot, with Talus and Swarm Network, that is going to be instant recognition, and that will spike the coin as soon as that's announced, because people love the developers on the Sui network, because it's a small community, and basically anything they talk about gets, people dive in.
You have to, like, I'm hoping this is the way it goes. Definitely for everyone who's in the project and myself, I'm holding, all this swarm, all this truth token, because I think it's going to come out that way. The risk, like here we have a question from Aaron. The X update today about banning InfoFi, does that impact truth at all? So I didn't see that, but it does in a way, because they run a verification of truth on InfoFi. They run verification of truth on X, which is one of their technologies.
The way that they do roll up news is not something that can be blocked. It's through ZK knowledge proofs and human in the loop.
It's over, guys. InfoFi is finally dead. If you don't know what to do next, quickly pivot to, this is just, I hate X. It's just a bunch of crap. End of InfoFi. How do we make money? I'm not sure what InfoFi is. RIP InfoFi. All this gone crazy. What's it talking about? Yeah, I was never into InfoFi, so I'm not really sure what it is. Talus is here though, as a InfoFi.
Yeah, they're verified public partners with Swarm Network. Like, it's no secret. They both have each other listed as partners in what they're doing.
Yeah, gonna have to look into that.
Oh, Richie, did you see what's going on with Matic and Polygon?
Oh yeah,
I almost didn't believe it at first. They're even talking about changing it back to Matic.
Yeah, good.
Because we have the NFT collection on Polygon. I thought that was pretty cool.
So to finish up on Swarm, the risk though, of course, is that Swarm's an inflationary token, is continuing to inflate. Even now that I've pulled out the majority of my funds, I'm still earning Truth Token daily from the license staking. Like, you can buy these licenses for $999, and you can get daily Truth Token into your reward account. Even now, continuing to have these licenses sold. So it is inflationary. So the risk is, of course, with inflationary tokens, over time, they tend to lose value. Look at the US dollar. So we could see a lower price by the end of April, or a serious unlock in this time and then a dump down. So there is serious upside to Truth, in my opinion. You need to make up your own mind on what you think is going to happen. I think they're
important to note, though, is that the airdrops and all that stops 6 months after the TGE of the Truth token. There's all the licenses that have not been sold are going to be burned. No more airdrops. It stops at that date exactly.
Yeah. And what they're actually working on with the prediction market is way beyond InfoFi. It's trying to be it's like finding a cheat code for Polymarket is basically what they're trying to create.
They're going to have, but Talus is talking about making their own version of Polymarket. I think Sui's going to have a competitor to Polymarket.
Yeah, but there are so many Polymarket competitors already. But what Swarm are doing is they're making a way for you to use prediction networks with your AI agent, which is then going to predict you the result of any of the options that are available. Is how I understand it.
That's the secret sauce. Yes, that's great. Yeah.
So Polygon. You want to talk about Polygon, huh? Polygon-matic.
Well, you'd have to. I did a deep research thing on it. I posted it in the DAO.
I did notice a pump on Polygon, a Polygon pump. Let's check out what's going on with Pol token. Yeah, so Polygon, they rebranded to POL about a year ago, and it was a resounding disaster, complete disaster. Just like Sonic, where Phantom branded to Sonic, Polygon tried to go to Pol. Matic tried to change to POL. And from their rebrand, you can probably see the damage. So there was the pump before the rebrand, and then complete disaster. All-time low price, basically, for Matic, or for Pol anyway. Pol. Sitting at lowly 14 cents. If we look at Polygon Matic, it's probably still here, right? No, it's gone. Oh, Matic is it just dead? Yeah. It's just dead. So you're saying they might be migrating back to Matic.
Well, check out your Telegram. I just sent you the deep dive of all the information right to your Telegram.
You can just tell us, man. Tell us.
Okay, so it says Polygon Matic. For anyone tracking, the Matic is shifting gears. Sentiment this isn't just retail hype. Polygon Labs has executed a massive structural pivot in the first 2 weeks of January 2026. They are officially moving from a standard L2 scaling solution to a vertical integrated regulated global payments infrastructure. Here's the technical breakdown. $250 million plus regulatory power play. January 13th, Polygon Labs finalized definitive agreements on Tuesday to acquire CoinMe and Sequence for over $250 million. This is a massive play for the U.S. market. The CoinMe acquisition secures FinCEN registered money transmitter licenses in 48 states. ATM, physical footprint. Polygon now has access to 50,000 physical retail locations, including Walmart and Kroger, for cash to crypto rails. Infrastructure. Sequence adds a smart wallet intense engine, allowing one-click cross-chain payments without users needing to manage gas, swaps, or bridging. The Open Money Stack launched January 9th. This modular toolkit is designed to replace legacy fintech rails like Stripe and Revolut. Those are huge, by the way. Real-time settlements. It enables near-instant global settlement using stablecoin infrastructure. The network hit a massive 3.9 billion transactions in January 2026, driven by a 67.7 million spike in micropayments. BlackRock recently deployed approximately 500 million in assets on Polygon via its Builder Fund, signaling massive trust from the world's largest asset manager. Why the Matic brand is returning. Despite the 2024 migration to Pol, co-founder Sandeep Narwal has officially opened a community discussion to revert the ticker back to Matic. Internal data suggests 95% of non-social media users are still confused by the Matic disappearance. The brand remains dominant in emerging markets with institutions. And the year of the rebirth narrative in crypto, you are not ready teasers from Nalwal triggered a 30% plus rally this week. Interoperability, the bridge news of the ecosystem Pulse chain, is a direct result of Polygon's ag layer strategy. The shift, instead of fragmented high-risk bridges, the ag layer uses ZK proofs to unify liquidity so different chains can share state as if they were one single network. Polygon is becoming the AWS of blockchains, allowing other networks to plug directly into their regulated US settlement rails. The summary: Polygon has successfully pivoted from relying on token incentives to a fee-based revenue model powered by global stablecoin settlements with licenses in 48 states, 50K retail spots, and a 500 million endorsement from BlackRock. The Matic momentum is real and fundamentally backed. So says Deep Dive Gemini.
Okay, so I was just looking on DeFi Llama where you were talking about some stats on Polygon. So in terms of, it's actually very close to Sui, right? So they have, like, this is a disaster of a chart. This is the entire TVL that's inside Polygon. So 1.3 billion, Sui has 2 billion. We haven't really seen a huge uptick in the TVL on Polygon yet, just stablecoin market cap growth, which is up 2 to 3%. Then in terms of fees, actually Polymarket is the third largest fee earner on Polygon right now. So the prediction market is making more than DEXs. So you have QuickSwap, which is their DEX, main DEX. Then you have Aave, which is lending, which is across so many chains anyway. And then the prediction market is the third largest earning on the entirety of it, that's crazy. This is when you come back to Polygon, you're like, do I have any funds here? Like, oh my God, I got some dollars. I've got some Polygon tokens.
I got a really nice NFT on Polygon. I know that.
Yeah. Oh, I need to do the payout for the un-ROI'd NFT holders today, actually. I'm going to do that later. So yeah, Polygon might come back. I mean, it could be a quick buy and then see if it's going to, I'm not fully confident in Polygon that they can come back or not. But I would like them to change back to Matic.
These are some majors, like if these are true, like I haven't like triple verified, but like 500 million from BlackRock, if they're competing with Revolut and Stripe, like that's how X takes their payments, is through Stripe. Revolut is like a universal banking system online.
Polygon did this about 2 years ago when they said that they were going to be pairing up with Disney and Nike and all this stuff. This was when they were around about $1. Um, no, this is the Polygon chart. They were around about $1.50, and they're like, oh, we're pairing up with Disney, we're pairing up with Nike, we're pairing up with this and that and this. None of it came to fruition, and they do have a reputation of spending a lot of money on things to try and get bells and whistles, and then nothing comes to fruition. So it's kind of the Polygon way. So like it could all be hot air. That's why I'm a bit dubious about.
Yeah. Plus, this is just a an AI research. I'd have to do some more digging. Maybe next
Yeah.
week I can give an update on it.
And the other thing about a lot of crypto coins is, of course, that they run on crypto runs on narrative and hype, and not on revenue.
You buy the news.
You know what I mean? In the news, yeah. So it doesn't. No one gives a fuck if Matic or Polygon are making any money. They just care that the token price is going up, basically. So
People hear
they know
BlackRock and they buy in. BlackRock, I'm in.
that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So any other news?
I okay. Oh yeah, definitely. I sent a video in the DAO because it was a video about a lot of liquidity coming to the markets, and trying to keep it like political stuff, just straight facts. There's a large amount of liquidity coming to the U.S. through a lot of oil that was obtained through their Venezuela operation, which that beside however you think about that, the reality is that is a huge amount of oil and revenue coming into the country, which is going to be a huge influx of liquidity and most likely rate cuts on the next Fed review, and also the tax returns. And people that you're getting money back in your taxes in the US, they're going to be coming out as early as February instead of April, and they're going to be way bigger, way more money being returned. There's a whole video on it. I didn't get to go over every feature, but expect this year, probably Q1, Q2 to look a lot better, especially around April is probably when it's going to take off.
Interesting. Okay. So how much oil have they stolen so far?
Man. Well, first of all, they already hijacked basically a ship that was on the way to Russia that just yesterday they sold like $500 billion worth of oil to somebody. And they're sending in Chevron and Exxon and all these big companies because they have to fix all the oil refineries in Venezuela because they're all messed up. So they have these oil companies have to put in the money to fix everything, but that also means fixing the local power grid and making sure that the Venezuelans are taken care of and given jobs and all that stuff to be fair. But the main thing is it's not being paid for by the government. It's paid for by Chevron, Exxon. Independent companies are the ones putting up the money to fix these refineries. It's not coming from the U.S. itself, but the U.S. is going to receive the benefit of it because they're going to protect them while they're there, to make sure they're not like attacked while they're rebuilding.
So you think this is going to go into Bitcoin?
Oh yeah, definitely. Supposedly, it's not confirmed yet. There might be getting a huge amount of Bitcoin from Maduro, whoever was they took the president. He most likely has a stash of Bitcoin that they have not announced yet or found or whatnot, but it is highly suspected he has a pretty huge amount of Bitcoin, but also it's going to be a huge influx of liquidity into the US and oil prices go down. And as soon as stuff like that happens, that's when people start taking more risks and going into Bitcoin and altcoins because they have less pressure and they can drop the rates of the interest from the feds. So that is coming for sure.
My plotting for what Bitcoin is going to be doing is going it's too correct, right? What I have is the recovery up till where are we going here? It's not showing
Well,
the
with the
date.
world events, it is almost it's like impossible to try and predict, because every other day it's like bullish and then bearish, bullish, bearish. It's like
I
constant.
I still believe in the cycles. So basically, I expect a recovery. I think we're going to see 100K again, right? So we're going to get up to the 100K. Let's zoom in a bit, and from there, that's going to be the then the dip lower. I think is what's going to happen this year. It's still my gameplay, but I know a lot of people think that it's not, and there's a lot of reason why. I mean, even look at what happened in Iran, right? So of course there's huge turmoil there, but the hyperinflation that hit Iran is just another reminder that the dollars that you're holding and the pounds and the euros you're holding in your wallets are losing value every single year. So, I sold a bunch of Bitcoin at the dips. So when it hit much lower, around about what was it? It was
Well,
about
so when they
70s,
talk about the
sorry, in
Fed
the 80s,
doing
right?
the cuts on the interest rates, that's exactly what they're doing to hedge inflation. So they'll lower the rates a lot on the federal loan rates. So that is the hedge on inflation is what compensates for that. That's how they control the inflation on the dollar.
Well,
And
they're not
also
doing a very good job.
they're passing the they're passing the it's a bill about giving stablecoins immunity from the SEC or anything like that. Um,
Yeah, that got
I'd have to pull
cancelled
up,
though. Well, it got postponed.
postpone. Yeah, but I believe that will be eventually gone through, because it's pretty much, that's almost a bipartisan thing.
But the way I see it though is, for example, right, so when Bitcoin dipped, I sold a bunch of Bitcoin around about the 80,000 mark, 80,000 to 85,000, somewhere like that, okay? And since then, a lot of it's just been sitting in USDC pools, right, and earning stablecoin yield. But the thing about that is the yield that you can get on stablecoins is nothing compared to the inflation, which is destroying your dollar, right? I mean, if we're talking, and even I think in a humble estimate, I think inflation on the dollar is as bad as 7% a year now, would be what I would say. Possibly more, right? Which means if you're holding $10,000, that means every single year you're losing almost $1,000 of value from your $10,000 in the amount, the spending power that you have with that dollar,
Well,
right?
there's
So people can look at like Iran and say, oh no, but Iran, they got the hyperinflation and then all their money was ruined, right? But if we continue with euro and fiat, any fiat, euros, dollars, and pounds, and the same inflation trajectory that we're continuing to go on for the last 20, 30 years, right? This isn't just a year-long thing. This is decades of inflation. We're reaching a point where inflation's going to get completely out of control, and you're going to be pushed to somewhere that isn't dollars, right? People are going to be pushed there. Are they going to be pushed to Bitcoin? We don't know. It might be pushed to somewhere else, right? But it is happening, and the point is being aware of where to put your money to try get grow your wealth. They're making it's the Keir Starmer, the leader of the Prime Minister of the UK, is trying to make it so that you cannot put pounds into a high interest savings account anymore. They're going to limit you at £10,000. That's the most someone is allowed to put into a savings account with pounds. The rest of it you must put into the British stock market, right? So what they're doing with signaling with that is they know that inflation is completely out of control, and the only way to make people not lose their minds and fall into complete rioting on the streets because their spending power of their money is disappearing is that they're forcing everyone to buy into the stock market. Like it's ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. So this is the bull case for Bitcoin, right? Because you can hold your Bitcoin and you know it's a finite supply. You know over time it's going to go up in value. It's of course compared to it, like beating inflation, has Bitcoin done well in the last 2 years? Last year, not so well, right? It's actually being crushed even more than inflation. But in the next 5 years, definitely the bull case for Bitcoin is that it's going to be
Well,
massive
remember
inflation
too,
hedge.
the next 3 years is not going to be straight on money printer because Trump is bringing in massive amounts of revenue through his tariffs and through this oil thing that it's not going to be required to print money so much over the next 3 years.
But
That should slow down a lot.
this is a global issue, though. It's not just America.
Well, as far as like the speed of it with the dollar, I think it should have some sort of main thing is Trump and like all his family, they all own massive amounts of crypto, so they're going to want to do things that are bullish for crypto all together. That's the things that I look forward to, because screw fiat, we got a fiat hater in the comments, he knows what's up.
We do.
And the speed of the DEX is night and day. It's a pleasure to use nowadays. Very true. I made a video about that. It is lightning fast. It is instantaneous because I'm on a fiber optics, 600 up and down megabits per second. It is immediate, no lag whatsoever. There's no loading of anything anymore. You can claim it's really nice.
So, on the stats on paper, right? On paper, they say the UK inflation in 2025 to 2026 was 3%, right? That is bullshit, right? There's no way it's 3% because, like, I go back to the UK at least 3 times a year, which means I'm in China, then I go back to the UK. When I go back, I rent either a house, apartment, or Airbnb. I have to purchase the supplies and food. I have to go back in and get another pint in the pub. Pintonomics is one way of telling the inflation in a country just by the price of the same pint that you bought 6 months ago and how much it's gone up, right? Because pubs and bars reflect inflation very well because they need to pay they have the overheads which are continuing to rise, the electricity, the staff, the produce which they're selling. All of this reflects into them having the same. They have to raise it to meet their profit margin, right? So it's way higher than 3.6%, which they're saying it was in the UK. But even if it was as low as 3.6%, if you compound 3.6% inflation over 50 years, what happens to your £10,000? Your money will just vanish, right? If you're only getting 0.2% interest in the bank and inflation is going up 3.6% year on year, what's going to happen? You're going to get priced out, completely priced out. They say the US has been 0.8 to 0.9 inflation.
Maybe finance, the future of finance is going to be cryptocurrency. Everything is just going to be crypto on Sui network for quick transactions, and Bitcoin will be your savings account.
Well, it's going to have to be something because I think my prediction is that what's happening here? My prediction is that there's going to have to be a change. They're going to have to move away from the fiat system and be backed by something, basically, is what I think. It must happen. There's no way they can escape it.
So, yeah, that's one thing about that bill that they're trying to pass is that they're allowing for like tokenization of things without penalty, but they're not going to allow banks or institutions to force you into something. I'd have to get more clarification on that, but it's something that is actually bullish for crypto. I can look it up because I posted on X recently. Let's see. Wait a minute.
Because at the moment, of course, people are falling just into metals, right? Like I've been covering a lot of metals on my channel because
gold and silver are taking off.
It's been taking off. It's been a while, but if we come into like a silver chart, right? So here's a silver chart, right? If it's going to load up, baby. Yeah. Look at that. So that's from June 2024, right? So this is a year and a half on silver. $29 now up to $90. Like this is behaving like an altcoin, right? Not a meme coin. Meme coins would be up in the thousands of dollars by now, right? But an altcoin, say your Matic, your XMR, your Sui. If you had Sui at $2.50 and then in 1 year it's up to $9, you know, that's what we're seeing with the price of silver right now. It is behaving like an altcoin. It's completely wrong. And it's not just silver. You're seeing it across the space. We have, you know, gold is an easy one to look at, but if you check any of these precious metals, copper, right?
Yeah, copper is supposed to be the next one to explode, to go up. And then there's also all the things that are used to make cell phone batteries and lithium and stuff. Yeah, precious metals and rare earth metals, like the things used to make lithium batteries. I forget the name of the stuff.
Like palladium.
Is going to be a very big deal. And as far as stocks, anything that's related to drilling oil and like processing oil, that's probably a really good play at the moment, because they just got the green light on like huge amount of money.
Yeah,
they made some really big deals. Like the richest oil companies in the world, they're like all came to the White House, and they even had a closed door meeting, and they're ready to go.
So here's your 2x on palladium in 1 year, from $900 to 180. So you can go across, like, this is actually a great resource for finding stocks and things. It's called 212 Trading. It works in the UK. I think you'd have to use something like Robinhood to get an example one. But see, what I've set up here is, you know, you can come down the left-hand side here and you can just go and check out.
So you don't actually own the stock. You're just, it's kind of like not your keys, not your crypto. You're just investing in the stock price.
Yeah, I use this. I use the CFD. It's basically leverage trading on stocks. So you have two options. You have like invest, where you can just put the money in and then wait, or CFD, where you just use money and you leverage it by like 10 or 15x, and then you guess on the price. But you know, if we're coming to commodities here, then you know, you're saying oil, right?
Or anything that has to do with the processing of oil.
All like refineries. Okay, so we can come down here. We have like big pharma, global markets, fashion, robotics, oil and gas. There might be a refinery section. Chemicals, grocery stores.
The price of Chevron and a lot of oil companies went up like 5% the day that meeting happened. You know,
I guess it would be oil and gas, the topic. It's a red day for oil and gas now. We'll have like Chevron, right? They got their fingers in the pies in Venezuela, right? So on the monthly,
they have a minor piece because I guess, but they.
So you got a 13% up on the last 3 months. If you go on the max, they're 44%. Yeah, so it's a significant increase, but generally, like, they haven't seen anything running. I guess they're still in speculation mode on what this is all. Yeah, it is definitely an increase though. 13%.
Yeah, it was like 6 January 5th or 5th. It's probably right around when they realized they were getting.
I have the ones I've chosen. Like I have here robots, big one, right? So we have the big ones for robots are definitely, you have different ones that I've put in here. I've put like self-driving cars. So of course, everyone knows Tesla is good. It's a self-driving car kind of company, but you have other ones which also run self-driving car companies, like WeRide, but most of them are underperforming. One I had great success are like Robot War, Terminator
I would have confidence in those because
Robot War.
Self-driving cars are actually orders of magnitude safer than human drivers. It's just people are not used to it because they're driving, but they don't get distracted. They don't look at their phone. They don't get road rage. They don't get sleepy. They are way less. It's already been proven.
They don't get jacked up on weird substances.
Yeah.
Man,
I would actually prefer driverless taxi than having a driver. You get to be in there by yourself.
Yeah, man. One of the worst experiences of my life was about 2 years ago. I went to Thailand. And to get to this island on Thai island. We had to take a taxi, and the taxi was about a 2 hour drive, 2 to 3 hour drive. And this guy was clearly off his fucking face on something. Like, he kept snorting things. His eyes were like bloodshot red. And he was driving at like 120 kilometers down this motorway, just weaving in and out of traffic the entire way. And then we got to like really tight mountain roads, going around these mountain roads like at like 80 kilometers an hour, just tweaking like hell. Like I was freaking out, man. Like he got me there in record time.
I'm aware. I don't know where it's coming from. It wasn't happening.
So yeah, these guys were instrumental in the success in Venezuela. So they're a war stock, basically. They make drones for killing people. They're up 61% on the month, which is incredible because people don't think they're going to come to the stock market to find such, you're expecting to invest and then get, beat inflation, basically. You're not.
Also on the drone, a lot of that is due to border patrol. There's a lot of drones across the border checking people and cartel activity.
Still got my eye on weed, Cura leaf.
Yeah.
Is one
That's big business.
It's a Canadian one, Canadian, but they're massively down. So looking for something to happen. 40% down on the month. Look at that. But that's also what I like about this CFD, that you can short them as well. If you think that the company is going down, then you short them, then you make money on that. And yeah, metal. But at the moment, yeah, it's all about silver. Silver's a lot of fun to trade. Because you just
how's copper doing at the moment? Because I think it's not taken off yet. I think I read a lot of the connection pump.
It's up, but not massively. So yeah, it's not moving. Other ones that you can think about are like mining and prospect companies which work around metals. So like here you have this one is called Hecla Mining. So they're just they're looking for new places to mine, and they're also mining at the moment. So on the year, because metals have gone up, they're up 360% on the year, is the old Hecla Mining. And First Majestic Silver, like just rocket as well. They're all just doing damage, massive damage. I don't know. If only Bitcoin, I want the bull market back, I want Bitcoin to be doing the same. I want alts to be completely ripping, but it's not happening yet. You need to be patient.
I think April can be it.
Yeah. Usually, to be honest, like in crypto at the moment, all I'm buying is Bitcoin these days. Like in terms of like investment and just like a hodl wallet, hodl portfolio. All I'm buying.
You don't touch Bitcoin, you just buy it.
Yeah, what? You can't touch Bitcoin; it's intangible.
You put in a cold wallet, you own it for 5 years or 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, Furley, you have audio issues.
I know. I don't know why I'm making. I didn't change it.
Brett Prince says Bitcoin and crypto is lagging behind metals and stock market. I'm used to seeing it lead during an actual bull rally. We might see it when markets fall down. If Bitcoin stays more resilient when everything dips. Yep, that's true. And lol, DoorDash and Uber Eats delivery up a lot over the years. So I noticed the prices of everything ordered going up. Yeah, for sure, man. When I go to the grocery store, try to eat cheaper, prices are up too as well. Yeah, even in China, right? So, I run a pub in China. We have 14 staff. We have, considerable overheads with rent and electricity and gas. And China's cheap, right? China's way cheaper than the, for example, opening a bar in New York, right? So, but I have noticed in the last 2 years, the costs for everything overall in terms of inflation costs for running a small business is up at least 15% year on year for cost, right? Which is why you're seeing the cost to buy year on year in small businesses going up 10%, 15%, because it's out of control, completely out of control. So here's a trade I'm running for. So this is on weeks. On weeks you can trade gold, Bitcoin, silver, ETH, possibly Sui. Let me check. Can you trade Sui? Yeah, you can trade Sui as well. No KYC. and withdrawal rate of $500,000 a day with no KYC, which is great for an exchange because it has significant liquidity, and they do a lot of promotions and bonuses for people who are trading on them as well. So what I'm doing is, you sound like a robot still.
Let me leave and come back.
Okay. So what I'm doing is my silver trade is I was trying it yesterday. My line to try and get, I was trying to limit buy because you're just seeing this surging, right? You know, this surging pattern. So what I'm wanting to do is I want to try catch the bottom so that I can catch the long, right? So as this surge is down, I want to try catch the long. I missed it yesterday by pennies. Like, look at that. That was this one here. Was supposed to catch that and then get this 6% pump up. Boom. But I missed it. My limit buy didn't place. I missed it. So now I've got another limit set at $88.93. So I'm hoping for silver to fall during the day, down, bounce up, and then close the trade before the market closes, basically. Restaurant owners are bellwethers for inflation. You have the pulse. You can tell what real inflation is. Yeah, exactly. And I know the spending power of the customer as well. How are you doing?
Hello.
Oh, yeah. You're clear as day now. It's like a different,
Nice.
It's like a different man.
I'm no longer a robot. I'm human.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so I was going to say about that week. I'm interested that I can't use Rob where I'm from.
Yeah.
Well, where I'm at.
Where you're in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure it works. You can try it. If you,
Well, if it's non KYC, I mean that should be.
Well, it's non KYC in allowed countries, but it's like 150 countries which they do no KYC for, which is great.
Okay.
So it's good. Yeah, so I'm just waiting today. I'm hoping that this hits. I want to bounce off here. Then my buy is going to trigger here, right? So I'm going to buy it. See this blue line? Automatically.
I'm definitely spoiled when it comes to cryptocurrency because there's an exchange called Bitso. And rates are incredible, but it's only for Latin America.
Maybe you still audio issues for you, but I don't know why. Might be. Let's remove this. How about now?
Let's see.
Audio issue. For me, there's no audio issue, but
That seemed. I don't hear an echo anymore for me. Whatever you did turned it off. There's no echo at all anymore.
what's happening there? Maybe
The echo's
references
gone for me.
our audio checker. What's
Brett,
the,
what
what's
about now? I don't think there's an echo anymore because I could hear the echo before myself. Right now, I don't hear an echo.
Let's check out Blue. So we were talking about G Blue last week, right? This is insane. Blue, G Blue.
Is that crypto Aaron?
Yeah. So from last week, we were talking about it would be January 11. We were at $8. Now we're up to $13 on the G Blue. So this is going. This is sending. Look at that. Beautiful chart. Oh, he says you're all good now. So this is just continuing to crush the
Yeah, as soon as you open your website, I started something on your end. Something's repeating back in the website.
No, let's do that.
Because here, like right now, it's not echoing. Now that it's just us, but as soon as you put the websites up, it starts echoing.
Damn websites.
Like there's something maybe replaying the audio.
Something. How about
on
now?
one of your tabs.
Oh, maybe. I don't think so.
Huh. Is there echo now? No, there's not.
No.
Okay, we're good.
I don't know what's happening. But yeah, G Blue. It's my stake with this was like $1,200. It's up to $3,700 now. I've got $50 to claim here. It's making $22 a day. just, and that's with the ABX prices, the reward token's ABX, and it's taken I think it's taken quite a dump. Not really, actually. I thought I saw it more. Let me see. Max time it's taken a big dump. No, it's up 30%. That's why. So the ABX is up 30%. The G Blue is up massively. So it's just continuing to print money, which is good. Good news. Notice that there's a whale group that Aaron's opened as well for the G Blue that you can join if you hold a significant value of it. You got a question?
Oh, there was a chain or something that we were talking about last week that you're talking about.
Abstract.
That I need to make a wallet to get it or something. And
yeah, abstract. That's this one. Yeah. Did you do it?
I needed to get the deets on it, but yeah, I'm definitely going to do that for sure.
How about we do it live, right? How about, so I've got $46 here. Like, let me claim this, and then I'm going to turn it into ETH, and then I'm going to send it to. So all you need is you just need a EVM wallet, right? So do you have like MetaMask or Rabby wallet?
No, but I have EVM. I have SafePal I use and Trust.
Okay, so they'll work, right? So first, what I'll do is I'll go to,
because all the EVM addresses are the same.
Yeah.
I just have to turn that chain on as being received.
Okay, so send me your just your EVM wallet address.
Okay.
And then I'll sell this ABX into ETH. And I'll send you the ETH, and then you can do it. See? Okay. So you need ETH on abstract to get going with this. This is why I'm sending WiseDGen some ETH, right? Okay, so there we have the ETH. So if you DM me your wallet. Nice, got it. Then let's try to figure this out. We'll go to Rabby, we'll go send. We want to go to abstract chain. Abstract. BNB chain. There it is. Cool. Okay. And there's ETH. Okay. Then send you.
Yeah,
Okay.
so just go to manage coins, and then I look for the abstract and turn it on.
Yep. So what I have here is I have Furley's address, so I'm going to send him ETH, so that he can do this. The other way you could do it, if you want to get onto abstract chain without me sending you money, which of course is only going to happen for Mr. Furley, because I'm not sending $40 to everybody. But the way it works is you come to GBlue, right? So gblue.xyz is the site. And you want to bridge it, right? You want to send from Binance Smart Chain. You want to send from. Let me find the bridge. Where's bridge?
So when I look at my wallet, it has two different ones. One's called Chain Abstract, and one's called Chain Abstraction.
It would be abstract,
because they both have the same logo.
It'll be the one with $40 of ETH in there. Basically,
okay.
Have a look.
I'll just show both of them.
Where's the bridge? Try to find the bridge again. Provide, use the vault. Where's the bridge? Bridge. Let's go to the docs. Bridging. There we go. Do you find it?
Yeah, I got both of them turned on.
Oh, do you find the ETH?
Oh, the Ethereum.
Yeah.
Will it be Ethereum on abstract?
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
So what I did there was I sent I sent Furley the ETH on Abstract, but if you don't have, ETH on Abstract, you can use something like Relay. So it's called relay.link, and it's a bridge. And there you can send BNB or Base, Arbitrum, Solana, any of these funds, you can send them over to Abstract, and then you get yourself ETH. And once you have ETH on Abstract, so go to relay.link to get it, then that's where the fun starts with GBlue. So basically, if you go to gblue.xyz and then you just connect your wallet, it will probably punt you to Abstract chain anyway, right? Automatically. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, try that. So gblue.xyz. You find it?
Yeah, it says confirm, about to enter third party, Sure.
Okay.
It says connecting. Yeah, I have. It says $13.44.
No, I should have more. I sent you like $40.
Um.
No, that's up there is the price of GBlue.
Okay. Oh.
So now what you want to do is you want to click on, see this button here, zap into LP. You want to do that. Zap into LP.
Zap into LP. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. And what this is going to do is it's going to take your ETH so now when you say you pay, you should see like 0.01 something ETH in your balance. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you want to do is you want to take, leave some for gas. So like, for example, take 0.01 and just put that in. What that's going to do is it's going to buy, it's called a zap, right? So what it's going to do is it's going to buy GBlue with half your ETH.
What about the auto stake LP engage? Should I turn that on or off?
On. Put that
Okay.
on. Right. And then zap into LP, right? So that's going to buy half with GBlue. It's going to put it in LP. It's going to put it in the farm for you. And then you just sit back and take the rewards. Bada bing, bada boom.
I am zapping.
Nice. So I'll do the same here, right? So zap in. Good. Brett put the bridge in our Telegram. Thank you, Brett. It's linked on my GBlue videos, but yeah, relay something. Relay.link, was it? Okay, so now that are you zapped in?
I pressed. It says zapping still. I didn't get an approval thing.
No, okay. Weird.
But I see, that I'm familiar with how these, dApps work with inside the wallets. So
Okay.
I'm sure I'll get it figured out. I could go to the website because I'm doing the mobile thing, but
yeah. So then once you're zapped in, you can then go over to earn, which is the next tab, and that's where it's going to show you your position. So you have position here. It's going to show you the dollar value of your position. It's going to show you how much you're earning every day and how much you have pending, right? And you're earning ABX token for this. So then all you need to do then is just come here and say claim ABX, claim, right? And that's you getting your reward token. And from there, to sell the reward token, the only way I've seen to sell the reward token is because you can't zap ABX, I don't think. So you need to go to Aborian, which is the DEX. It's actually what's happening is it's happening all here, but Aaron's just made you a front end to do basically everything on GBlue. But to sell ABX, you need to come to their swapper, and that's when you just take the ABX and you sell it into whatever, or use it if you want to. And that's this project. It's cool. Working very well. I think the fact that it's quite tricky to get on board is making it more popular and the price doing better because there's not so many, there's no easy money on Aborian. It's all people who understand what they're doing.
And then when I drop down abstract, when it says select chain, it says GBlue app, OVault, and BlueHub.
Yeah.
There's 3 different ones.
So the vault is like a compounding vault. It means you don't need to do anything. It's going to sell the ABX into more GBlue, and it's just going to compound for you continuously. If you want to do that, you can do that. Like if you don't want to do anything, if you just want to put the money in and then let the compounding do its work, and then come back later on and just take your profits, then you can do it in the vault as well.
Yeah,
And that's
so
what I
it
mean.
just,
Actually, we
it
can
just
show there
throws
like
on zapping, so I'm gonna reload it and see if maybe it actually went through.
yeah, because like if we go to the vault actually, right? So OS vault. So it said there like 240% APR on the vault, right? And here we have APY of 788. So when the APR is 218, the APY is 788. So what we were talking before about the swarm truth staking, 45% APY is going to be about 20% APR, right? So that's where you need to be careful sometimes with, I call them fugazi APR, when the APR isn't actually what it is. But this is 218% APR paid out in ABX token, and then they sell it and put it back in your pair immediately, and that makes you your 788% APR because you're compounding continuously. Nice. Well, you can get set up with that and see how you like it. I think it's great. And I think it might be the difficulty of getting onboarded, which is causing the price to continue going up, because it is people who only know what they're doing in DeFi that are being able to get into abstract and get into GBlue and get the yield.
Yeah, it is.
So
It
it's,
is. It is showing up. I got the ETH that you sent. It's getting hung up on the zapping part of it, but I can figure that out. I can use a different wallet or do it on a actual extension instead of my cell phone. I'm sure it'll work just fine because you were able to do it right there. So
yeah. It'll be user error. It's definitely user error.
of course.
Oh, there's someone at my door. Hang on.
So how's it going, Brett? Base ETH, yeah, that's pretty much an all-around favorite. Base chain is pretty based, and we have Text Trader. Our evening is going well for Richie. He's in tomorrow in the morning in China. Where you join? You would join through a StreamYard link if you want to come on. I could send it to your Telegram. Well, actually, I think Richie would have to send it to you because he's the host. Because I'm just on a website called StreamYard.com. Like you don't have to log in with a YouTube account or anything. You just go to a StreamYard link, and we are discussing lots of things, mostly the Sui network and the SuiDex that Richie developed, that I am part of the team, although he is the sole developer. He holds the keys to everything. That's the main thing that we talk about, because that's the big project that we're doing right now in the Sui network. We've been in that for over a year with the Suitrump coin, which is where we started in November of 2024, which has been doing great. And Richie's basically showing that you can do a meme coin successfully as long as the developer is transparent and is not taking profits from the project. He's never sold a single Suitrump coin. He's leaving that for the people. And the DEX is, that's the way to expand on that. And since the DEX buy and burn 40%, that goes back to the community. So it's a meme coin done right was the original intention, I believe.
I'm back.
Would you say that, Richie?
I'm going to say yes. I don't know what you were saying, though, but
I was saying
yes.
that someone asked what we were talking about in the comments. I said, well, we're talking about SuiDex, and we got started with Suitrump, and that Suitrump is your attempt and version of. But yeah, Rich is a good dude, solid, transparent. He's got a track record of being totally upfront. You can really tell when somebody is looking to get your money from you compared to somebody that's actually trying to help you earn. And I've known Richie for 5 years, and that's all that he's done the whole time. I've never seen it waver once, so that's why I've been following him for so long and working together with him now.
Okay, I'm back.
Solid dude.
It was all the water delivery. It was like six cases of water, man. See, Brett wants to join. I was thinking about we need to finish quite soon though, because it's already midday. Got to get going with the day.
And we got to do some spaces or something for the other people, because remember BH and a lot of people, is too late for them in the.
Yeah, I want to, like, being too hung up this week doing the restake and getting the gaming going, that didn't have time to put another one. But yeah, Furley, let me know now, like, what time is best for you?
For me, is I 24/7. I can
24/7.
This is all I do. I will adjust my naps to the schedule. It doesn't matter.
Well, but generally, like, what, like?
Well,
Because I imagine like most people, they want to like finish their work and then chill out at like 7 p.m. and then listen to a live stream, right?
We'd have to ask the Telegram group, really. I mean, I'd want to do it at a time that's best for our viewers, not so much for me.
Well, that's what I'm thinking though. But then, so because you're in Mexico, that would be like,
I'm in
say
the Pacific,
so
and
you're
everyone on the
Pacific.
East. There's more people on the East Coast. Is the problem.
So what's like 7 p.m. on the East Coast for you?
4 p.m. would be fine. Be perfectly fine.
Okay. And then what would that be? So then for me, that would be like 6 a.m. So like I have no problem getting up at 6 to do it, but it's just, I need to prepare for that. It means I need to not degenerately trade until 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I pretty much am always awake. There's better deals on crypto during the nighttime.
True. Well, yeah, but that would be my morning. We have Aaron back.
Old-fashioned Suitrump voting, but SuiDex. What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, we make a poll. Yeah, Aaron, I just set Furley up with some ETH, and we got into the G-Blue, so he's figuring that out. He's got some SafePal issues, wallet connected issue that he's going to fix, and then he's going to be in.
I'm connected. I'm seeing the trade, and I press zap, and it just is held up on zapping. There's no like approval. I see my ETH in the swap on the top. I see the G-Blue on the bottom. I have the auto stake checked. I press zap, and it just says zapping, and it's not doing anything.
Yeah, that's user. That's definitely user error.
It could be wallet error. I can try on a different wallet.
Could be. Might be. But yeah, like G-Blue doing damage. $13.44. Crazy. It's wild. And the whole time this is all happening, the G-Blue is compounding continuously at 1.3% daily over on Binance Smart Chain, which is crazy, right?
I have a bunch. I actually have a bunch of BNB that I can convert over to this if it's looking positive.
Oh, it's looking extremely positive. You can also use your BNB. You can buy G-Blue on Binance Smart Chain. You can buy Blue on Binance Smart Chain, then you can bridge it over to Abstract Chain by purchasing. There's loads of ways to do it, actually. You come here to like bridge now, G-Blue on Abstract Chain. So
now the bridging BNB. I've got down. I'm good with that. I can definitely get it figured out.
Brett. Okay, so Brett, the vault is what I was telling you about. Like, say before we were talking about the APY on truth staking, right? So an APY is compounded APR, right? So what's happening here to get an APY, there's a reward pool of 10 million, and people are staked in here. They're getting the rewards from the 10 million, which is then being automatically put back into their stake, which is then growing it, right? So even though here it says APY of 45%, the APR is probably about 20, right? So then when you come to the GBlue, let's go back to GBlue. When you come back to the GBlue vault, it shows you the APR and the APY, because what's happening in the vault is you are staking your GBlue into GBlue ETH on the DEX. Then it's earning you 200% APR. The APR there is then earning ABX token. The ABX is being sold back into GBlue and ETH, which then creates a continuous auto compound loop, right? Which then makes you your 786%. So that's how you get the APY from the APR. Which is cool that they show both of them, right? Because then you can understand what's happening. Which is why I think they should do that with the true staking, because just having an APY can be quite confusing for people. For sure. Because then they'll say, like, why are my rewards not what I expected? Because it wasn't 45% APR. It's because it isn't. It's APY, right? Is it APY? Is it APR? Right. But yeah, I think I've got to wrap up for the day. But yeah, Brett, we were hoping to get your mathematical knowledge on APR, APY, because the last week when I made a big math error and you caught me.
We will post it on our X accounts. Once Brett figures it out, we will post it. I have a lot of stuff I need to post anyways. I got some content for everything pretty much I need to put out.
Nice. But yeah, so let's wrap up for now though. Yeah, I need to get going with the day. It's midday now. Time to get
Remember
going.
to pitch your TikTok. Join Richie's TikTok. Join my TikTok. We need to get big on there because that's a lot of reach.
Yeah, I have TikTok. I dance on my TikTok daily in a bikini.
I'm signing. I'm already a member. I'm a paid subscription.
Or you're my OF.
I'm Wise Degenerate, not just Wise Degen. Wise Degenerate. YouTube and Kick and TikTok is Wise Degenerate spelled out all the way, no space.
Nice. Yeah, and so what you're going to see for SuiDex, just to wrap up, is over the weekend we're going to put live the auto stake function, which will be a bonus for people whose 3-month locks are beginning to finish. And you can choose either to claim your principal investment out on the lock, or you can compound your lock back in and make a new lock essentially, and you get a restake bonus on that if you do that. If you lock for 1 year or for 3 year, you get a bonus on it, or you can simply just restake your lock for 3 months if you want to as well. Just an extra bonus function for people who want to do that. And we will have hopefully the website going live for SuiDex Gaming, which is coming to SuiDex, which will be a way for you to use your Victory and Suitrump and other coins inside of our game portal, and that will be fun.
And the private raise, has been released. The 3-month for the private raise.
Not yet, but it's coming up. That's why I want to put the restake out so that people who are happy with the platform can restake and continue.
What is the date on that?
It's either this week or next week.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're already getting 3 months into the platform, which is awesome. We're just ticking along in the crazy, choppy Sui market.
And I like that you can go to CoinGecko and actually see the burn mechanism taking place.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting almost up to 3%, which is cool. Continuing on. I'm thinking with Suitrump, I was thinking about this. Because what's happening is we're taking the fees, 40% fees, and it's been put into the wallet. Then I use it to buy and burn the Suitrump, right? But then I thought about this, and like maybe a more efficient way to do this would be to put the funds into like a lending protocol. Like say we swap all the funds into USDC, we lend it into something. I'm sure there's a bunch of lending protocols on Sui, right? And then we borrow out money from the USDC. And then we use that to burn, right? Or if say I'm bullish on Sui, you could turn it all into Sui, lend the Sui in, borrow out USDC, use the USDC to burn the Suitrump, right? If Sui goes up in price, that means we have more USDC we can borrow on the stake USDC to burn Suitrump. If Sui goes down in price, then we get liquidated, but we have continuous money coming in anyway to burn. So I'm thinking about that. Might be a more...
Yeah, Hadal and Nobi are seem to be the most popular ones. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't use them, but I just know them to be the most popular.
Hadal.
Hadal.
So yeah, so for what I mean is, so say we have like $500, right? So I got $500 of Sui, and we're gonna burn Suitrump with that. Then why not take the 500 Sui and lend it, right? So where's do they have lending? I've never been here before.
If they don't have lend, then it'd be the Nobi. Let me see.
Oh, Navi. Yeah,
Navi.
I use
Yeah,
Navi.
that's right.
Yeah, so, okay, for example here, right? So we're going to open up say we supply, right? So I supply 500 Sui into Navi, right? Because that's what we were going to use to burn the Suitrump, right? I supply the 500 Sui into Navi, and then it's going to sit there. I can then borrow out on the Sui. So I borrow out $300 of USDC, and I use that to burn the Suitrump. If Sui goes up in value, that means I can extract more USDC over time to burn more Suitrump. If Sui goes down in value, my position would be liquidated, and then we just would lose the amount that we were going to use anyway, which we've already used for burning, right? And it means that if the bull run does happen and Sui does go up in value, then we will have an ever-increasing amount of reserve made from Sui's price movement going up to burn more Suitrump.
Could you give like a TLDR of like why is it that people would want to lend the Sui to get USDC rather than just purchase USDC? Like what is happening there that makes it beneficial?
Okay, so check this position here. So I've been supplying Bitcoin in here, right? I haven't done anything else. I've just been kind of hodling it, right? There's too many stats here. I hate when there's too many stats, man. Just give me simple stuff. Supply. Right. So at the moment, I have supplied 0.03 Bitcoin into here, right? And that enables me to then borrow on my Bitcoin, right? So if I come here to borrow.
Well, that makes sense because Bitcoin is, that's on another chain. But as far as like Sui,
it'd be the same thing, right? If I supplied Sui, I could borrow on my Sui. So I put in. You could see all of these is exactly the same thing, right? I'm putting the funds in, and then I'm able to borrow on my funds up to a certain point. You can see my deposit into this Navi is $4,000, right? And I can borrow up to $2,400. But if I have a borrow of over $2,700, then I would get liquidated, right? And then that means my borrowed amount vanishes. Well, my supplied amount vanishes. Yeah, my collateral vanishes. So what then happens because a couple of days ago this was only $3,500, but Bitcoin went up in price, so therefore it's 4,000, right? So this is growing as Bitcoin goes up in price, which means I can borrow more potentially to then
okay, use. I get it now. So you maintain the value of your owned Sui or Bitcoin.
Yeah.
At the same time, you're able to use it for other investments without losing your ownership. Okay, I got it.
So what we could do with the Suitrump buy and burn is instead of just immediately burning it with the funds, we could start building up a lending market with it, where I supply the funds into the lending market, then I would draw out. We hold it in Sui and Bitcoin, for example, and as those assets inevitably go up in value, we're then able to burn more Suitrump than we would if we just burned it initially out. It's kind of like a long-term play. So I'm thinking about doing something like that. Then you'd always have a lending market pool for the Suitrump burn, which if prices go up, then we're enabled to burn more.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That's what you do. What you've been doing for many years is these kind of things. So you're very well versed with it.
Yeah, there is risk, of course, because if we saw a flash crash, then you get liquidated and you lose your collateral. But then the collateral would have been used to buy and burn Suitrump anyway. So it's like So the question is, would it be able to burn more Suitrump? Because that's what we want, right? We want more burned.
Well, if you're judging on the price of Sui going up, I would say that's a pretty high chance because $1.80 Sui last January is 526,
Yeah,
and they're only adding
exactly.
more utility, more Sui, the S2 stack privacy features,
Yeah, man.
a lot of stuff coming up.
True that. Okay, I gotta go. Have a lovely weekend, or have a lovely Friday, Saturday, Sunday, everybody.
Already,
You too, YCGen. Have a great weekend.
thank you for the ETH. I'll make sure to get that staked and get into
Yeah,
more Deep Blue. I'm gonna convert my BNB and invest more, Aaron.
and once you're set up as well, you can join their bot, which gives you like points on Telegram. That's quite fun
Alrighty.
as well. I did that today. That was fun. It's got loads to do inside of GBlue, so it's all good. Okay, guys, see you later, and I'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Bye bye.